Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous community show. And yes, tonight, hopefully, will be a momentous occasion. I did say I had the green screen up, and I don't quite have the green screen up. Let me fix that. There we go. Good start, as always. Yes! I am so close to Elite. Look at that! 98%. Deadly. So I am nearly at the top combat rank in the game, and I will damn well reach it tonight if it kills me. So that is the first goal, so we won't be doing the newsletter as early as I normally do it. I know I normally forget anyway, but I will be doing it. So thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's already here. It's early. It's 10 to 8, and we've already started Kerrash Landing. That doesn't matter. We're early tonight. I'm in a good mood. Prime 9, yes, hopefully. I probably could have hit it earlier this week, to be honest. I worked up to around the 98%, 99, that sort of, whatever. I think I'm quite close to 99. I did a few more kills after I got to 98%, so I'm really close, But I will be getting there tonight. Oh, Max Ursa, are you about, my friend? If you are close by, you might as well come and join the wing. And thank you very much for everyone who's joined tonight. Yes, we are... hopefully we're gonna get that. I've got the obligatory drink. The Jameson's is ready. I'm counting on it. I reckon we'll get there. 98%. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Relentless buzz mode on. Yes, Proxister. Exactly. Yes. I'm just gonna down this and we're gonna go for it. 2% shouldn't take us very long. Oh yes, Mad Dog, yes, good point, yes, in the newsletter, Prime 9, you are going to be on the live stream on Tuesday, are you not? Yes, interesting, we've been asking for this for a while. No, it's going to be great to see you on the live stream, I can't wait for that. But some fantastic live streams come out of Frontier over the last couple of weeks, everything on the lead up to beta is just... Oh, it's just so exciting, so much stuff. There's loads of things I want to talk about in the newsletter. Loads of things I missed from last week's newsletter because it was so damn exciting. There was so much in there. Hopefully we get time to catch up on it. The one big thing that I did miss, which has been completed now, there was a community goal to build an Imperial capital ship, which is successful. So Denton Patriots has his new capital ship there. Ooh. What's that, Max Ursa? Oh, Max Ursa is in the middle of nowhere. Never mind. Right, so, not much from the newsletter tonight. Not immediately anyway. We're just going to be blasting the hell out of these ships for the first however long it takes me to get to Elite. So let's jump into it. Sorry if I do miss the chat, but I'm going to be absolutely going for it for the first 20 minutes at least. Big one from the newsletter, which I've already gone through tonight actually, is the announcement of Horizons for Xbox One! Yes! Finally, I'm so pleased it is coming to Xbox One. I know there's a lot of people going back and forth and saying it will and it won't and all this kind of rubbish. Of course, Frontier were planning on doing the Horizons for Xbox One. So it is finally coming Q2 this year, so that's any time between now and the end of June-ish, something like that, is a rough guideline, which is fantastic news for everyone on Xbox One. I know everyone's been absolutely clamouring to get Horizons, which is great because it just... you know, it just brings platform parity to everyone, and I'm really pleased for everyone who's on Xbox. You can finally get down to the planet's surfaces and explore, which is really cool. Jake Larson, yes, if you're about, my friend, please do pop in. I am in my own personal private group, so please do pop in, and I'll add you to the wing once you're here. I should have killed this guy by now. Alright, let's get in close to him. Yeah, it's holographed, yeah, the, hi Tanya Maru, how you doing? Yeah, the Xbox One version, there's a lot of commanders out there that, you know, a lot of people have been on the forums, you know, asking for when we're going to get it, and, you know, FDev have been wanting to make the announcement, but it's officially hit the newsletter tonight. It's definitely a thing, it's definitely coming. So the 1.6 version we're seeing pushed out is going to be, obviously, for Xbox players who don't have access to Horizons, so they've just bought the original version. I think the thing you got to remember is Horizons for the PC, of course, was an Elite Eagle. Let's go after him. Horizons for the PC obviously was like a DLC. You had to pay extra for it, so I fully expect Horizons to be on the Xbox One to be of a similar sort of price when it comes out onto that platform as well. Which makes sense. Heavy drinker, yes, I want to address that one actually, that's a good point. Now that was a bit of a misunderstanding in the way that the announcement was worded, and it caused a little bit of confusion on there. So unfortunately the word crossplay was used when it didn't actually mean the crossplay that you expect. So when they made the announcement saying basically, oh, let me just add Mr. J. Glasson to the group, there we go, sir, you are added. To the wing there, right. So yeah, so the announcement came out basically saying that CQC or Arena mode is available on Xbox One is a separate download. So obviously we know on the PC version that the Arena is basically the £5 immediate access to the kind of to the CQC mode, the multiplayer Arena deathmatch style mode for the game. Unfortunately, that was kind of, it was announced saying that there would be cross-play, but when they said cross-play, they were talking about the ability for Xbox One players who already own the full version of Elite Dangerous to be able to play with Xbox owners who have just bought the Arena version of the game. That's what they meant by that. But obviously, cross-play is kind of a synonym where everyone kind of associates that with the ability to cross-platform play, so there was a little bit of confusion on that. Unfortunately, it's not as awesome as it sounded on paper, so we did try to jump on that one straight away. We noticed that in the forum. It was like, quick, change it, change it. It was too late. It was already out. People started asking the question. These things happen. Who have we got? Who's that? Vanacker. You got an elite vulture. Let's take him out. Take him down. Sorry if I've missed some things in the chat there. Revian! Greetings, Commander! Lovely to see you here, my friend. Hopefully tonight will be a momentous occasion. I am racing to that 99%. I am almost there. I am almost there. We will get over all of the lovely bits and pieces in the newsletter at some point tonight. I think I will take a well-deserved rest. If I reach my goal tonight, I will take a rest, put my feet up, and we will calmly and comfortably read through the newsletter in all its glory this night. Here we go. Deadly Eagle over here. Quick, 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 quick. Now it should be. Now, Toad, if he is in the chat, where is he? He is in the chat somewhere. It should be around 20 deadly kills per percent at the rank that I'm at the moment. Where is my friend on there? I can see him in the chat there. There he is, there he is. Yes, I believe it is. And there's a good buddy of mine in the chat tonight, Bindlestiff. If you do see his name up on there, if you say hi, you should give him a follow. He's awesome. He's going to start streaming, so I know you've been doing some things on YouTube, haven't you, my friend? And hopefully going to be doing some, is it Planet Side you're going to be doing on Twitch, which would be really, really awesome. You should pop him a follow. Oh, we've got some other, who have we got here? A little purple Diamond Black Explorer, let's get you. There he is. Hello, Bindlestiff Plays. Yeah, chuck my friend there a follow if you're interested in seeing some streams from him there. I think mostly Planet Side. Oh, and a little Overwatch as well. Awesome. Awesome. I will have to try and return the favour and drop into some of your streams. Come on, we're at 12%. Come on, you. Come on. Fixed weapons. Gotcha. Right, that's you down. Who we got next? You on. Get you. Just a David Hop. I'm trying. I don't want to lose too much now. I'm going to try and pay attention to chat as much as possible, but obviously I'm going to be pewing away. It's the race to elite. Right, another one down. We got on here a deadly Diamondback. I can't believe I'm halfway through my ammo already. If only I had some more materials. I used up all of my materials reloading within the first week of working on my combat rank. I miss going down on the surface of planets and gathering materials. I really do. I want to get back to doing it. I must admit, a little bit of exploration will be a welcome break after all of this time doing combat, I must admit. A nice refreshing change. We've got a Viper, that's little shit, we can do that. We got 90, still says 98, still says 90, that's not good enough. Not good enough. Has anyone been keeping track of kill count? I must admit, I did have a little notepad here and I was doing it. Cornish Cracker, race to elite before it gets to 10 times harder. Yeah, of course, 2.1 is going to introduce those big updates from Mom, Mistress of Minions. She's put some real effort into making the NPCs massively more difficult in 2.1, and I'm looking forward to be honest. I do want to try a little bit of combat in the beta, see what differences it makes, because it's not just making the really tough NPCs harder, it's also making the lower level NPCs a little bit more believably stupid as well, which is ironically is kind of the hardest thing to do in AI. It's really easy to make an AI which is like, you know, 100% perfectly accurate and can, you know, shoot you from a mile off without any issues. It's actually difficult to make an AI which is believably fallible and has, you know, accuracy errors and things like that. Bindle, yeah, I'm tempting you with elite. See, look, I could get you into all the factions. You see, I can put you in contact with all the right people. I can get you set up. See, look. I have all the contacts. Artificial stupidity hard. Yes, Prime 9, yes. See, I appreciate that. I mean, you know, I've done a little bit of AI dev myself, and I kind of appreciate how difficult it is. I'm kind of... I always kind of jest that I can make AI play games better than I can play them myself, which is kind of ironic. I did it years ago as a bit of a joke. I was bored in my computer science classes, and I programmed in a little game of tic-tac-toe into Excel with nothing but macros, and added in a little layer of AI just to keep myself occupied whilst I was waiting for things to be done. And ironically, the macro was so good, it beat me every single time at tic-tac-toe. I just couldn't beat it. So, well, there we go. Digital Surfer, that's you done. What have we got? We want some more deadlies. Some more deadlies. Come on, where are we? 98 still. Come on. You. Point is a point. You. Experts, what is it? What have we got? Expert, Master, that goes down the other way. Then Deadly is 1 point, Dangerous 0.75 point, Master is half a point, Expert's quarter of a point. Still counts. Still counts. What's that? Oh, I want to read that one from Prime 9 there. Favourite anecdote, I think from Half-Life 2. They had a bug where the AIs would randomly go nuts and charge the player, had to release without fixing it, so they can instead... So they instead set up the AIs to shout, "Cover me, I'm going for it," when they did and called it a feature. Yes, I remember that. Wasn't that in the Raising the Bar book that they did? I remember that being called out. But that's really awesome though. I like that. It becomes a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature. That's what we do. That's what devs do. You know, we find a pleasant happenstance of combination of side effects of things. It's just like, yeah, it was meant to do that. It's meant to do that. That's how we intended it all along. Pew, you've gone, right. Where's Jake Larson gone? A Master Cobra, what else have we got? You there, what are you? Oh, an Elite Vulture. Let's get you. Fearsome Panda. Stephen Carey, you can't beat the chess AI you wrote. Tell me about it. So I think when you're writing code, it's like you just think about things differently and you kind of logically figure out all possible eventualities of things, and you're thinking about it in a different way. It's like when you're put in that situation of having to actively make those decisions yourself, it's like it all goes out the window and you just completely forget about how to make those logical decisions. It's I don't know, maybe it just engages a different part of the brain when you're coding. Stars! Greetings, Commander! Nice to see you there, my friend. Oh, I just picked on a wing of 7. Sorry, Toad. This is going to be fun. Okay, we're going to have to snipe some subsystems here, I think, to get this guy down. Wait, this is going to be interesting. I got plenty of hull plate, and I should be okay. The Hug Monster, so close to 2.1, I know, and there's so many cool things in the newsletter, but I've sworn I will not go over the newsletter until I've hit Elite tonight. I'm gonna do it. Elite in combat, that is. I'm not going for the full 3 yet. That would be insane. But I will be. I'll be heading off to a little bit of exploration after this, so I must admit, I am welcoming the idea of just serenely exploring the galaxy after all of this insane combat. Not to mention that I don't want to be anywhere near populated space over the next couple of months. They're coming. What have we got here? I've got a few more I've picked on here. I've got to get rid of these guys first. And there's a couple of deadly sidewinders lying around, which should be nice and easy. What have we got here? It's only a master. Let's try and get him on there. Is that Matthew Broderick started it? War Games! Oh yes, War Games. It's a curious game. The only way to win is not to play. Or something, as the quote goes, I believe. Right, who is on? Mr. Jake Larson, there we go. Imperial Eagle, 2 of 2. Hull damage, hull damage. I don't care. Even if I go pop, I don't care. Who else have we got? What's this one over here? Dangerous Eagle. Who is on your 6 there? Toad, is that you? No, it's Shan. Who is on Shan? I think it's you. Just pick this one off. Is that from Max Ursa there? You're down in your SOV, a crack in a metal spud world, looking up at the galactic disk is framed by a rock. Oh, so you're out there taking pictures out in the void, are you? See, it's just lovely and serene. Except when you get stuck down in a canyon and it just goes dark and it's freaky, and yeah. I've had a couple of moments in some of these planets where you just feel really kind of small and insignificant and lonely out there. Ooh, what's that? Gaming with Ian! Greetings, my friend. Nice to see you there. We are on the race to Elite. I am almost there. Oh, I'm almost out of ammo as well. I'm probably going to have to reload before I get another percent in. There we go. Oh, Prime 9. It's been interesting. It's been amusing watching the feedback on the newsletter this week. A little more controversial. Sadly, you probably shouldn't clarify too much and save the juicy things for Tuesday. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things in there tonight, actually. I don't want to spoil too much ahead of time before we get onto it. But yeah, I think some of the interesting bits that I picked out was obviously a little more detail on the way that the upcoming module modifications are going to work. A bit where there's a bit of a random chance of getting a special effect on them. That was a new thing. I don't think anyone was aware that was coming in, so it's nice to see some more details there. I think that's an interesting thing. It's going to encourage you to want to try various, different module modifications out. If it's there's a chance of getting different effects each time, you're going to want to keep trying them and searching for the materials again to get a better effect. I like the idea of it anyway. I know it's going to be controversial, but people are always going to find something to complain about. I think the most annoying thing, any time I see any kind of controversy like that, most of the arguments tend to boil down to people not wanting to spend the time or the effort to actually do the in-game task required to get some new effect, which is part of it, which is usually what it is. It was the same thing when Horizons first launched, that all of the synthesis elements that came into the game, and it was a fantastic thing, the fact you could synthesize stuff. But then you get people that were complaining, it's like, well, they want to be able to synthesize, but they don't want to have to go onto the surface to gather the materials. And it's like, well, there has to be some give and take. You can't just, just freely go and buy the materials and then just manufacture stuff directly. Otherwise, what's the point in there being a game? There has to be some kind of challenge. There has to be a reward for doing those various things. That's the point. Otherwise, it just becomes like cookie clicker sort of game or something like that. You know, there's no point to it, but I understand it. Oh, Shanray, yes. The way that the random number generator crafting, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I know it can be kind of annoying that you might spend all that time getting all those values, and it's the same sort of thing you see in other MMOs as well, where you get the recipe, you get the materials, you apply the special effect, and then suddenly you apply the modification, and you don't get the special effect you want, which I know can be really annoying because you then have to go out and gather the materials again. But it's that, like I said, it's that kind of trade-off. It's trying to find a way of making it a nice, happy reward, you know, and a nice kind of bonus benefit on top, but not make it so frequent that it's not a nice additional thing. Because if it happened every single time and it was 100% predictable, then it wouldn't be a nice special effect. And I know that's frustrating because, you know, you're gonna have to go gather all the materials again to apply the same effect. But like I said, it is that kind of balance. It's trying to find something which is a bit of a game about it. Yeah, Prime, I suppose that's kind of the point I was trying to get to. Yeah, much more eloquently than I was putting it there. But yeah, it is that kind of. It's a system that you have to try, you know, and see how it works. See how it fares in a real life situation, and you know, with anything like that, particularly it's like a random number thing. It's all about the probabilities. If the probability of it happening is too low and it frustrates people, then perhaps during the beta we can feed that back. We can tweak the probabilities of the special effects and get them amped up a little bit, and then it's not quite as frustrating. I mean, that is some of the changes that are coming in. Obviously, that was. Mentioned on the live stream this week. It's some of the changes for the way that the mission system works is a lot of the probabilities of things have been amped up so that you're more likely to see the various events that can occur for the is it not mission branches? I forget the term that was used now. It's kind of like a mission branch as anyone else would refer to it. Oh, yeah, you won't take me alive. Yeah, see? You're down. A little bit of fixed weapon aiming there. Yeah, Shan, I mean, that was the thing I was trying to get to. Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I do agree with what you're saying there. Absolutely, I would prefer there to be some kind of system which means if you can obtain like better or higher quality materials or something, that you get the special effects. But if you use regular common materials, you wouldn't get the special effects. I like the idea of that system, but I understand the reason why you would go with some kind of random number generator thing. Is it's usually as a kind of a placeholder for more complicated effects that you plan later down the line. You know, anywhere where there's a kind of, you add a random element, it's because really you want to add some kind of complicated system which calculates something like a quality metric or something of the materials you're using. So I can understand why it's RNG for now, but I wholly imagine that's just kind of like a placeholder element until a more complicated system can be applied on top. Oh, where are we? Where are you? You're close to me. There, you. Yes, thought it was you. I'm hoping that is one bug which gets fixed in 2.1, because that's caught me out a few times where hostile targets shooting my cockpit. Hostile targets don't flash red on the scanner, and then I don't see the damn things until they're right on my 6. TM90, yeah, exactly. That's the other side of the argument. Is the randomness gives it a bit of chance, a bit of risk that you don't know whether or not the effect's going to work. So you might have to try again and try different combinations of modules, which is, yeah, like I said. But yeah, it is a tricky thing, because you know, some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it. But I think it's just one of those things you're gonna have to try it and see what it's like. Feedback in the beta. That's the point of beta. It gives the guys at FDev a chance to play around with new effects, new things like I mean, SJA, she said obviously that she's worried that, you know, has she gone too far? Has she not gone far enough with the AI? Some of the other things I was mentioned on the live stream, I think Sandro was saying that you know, the missile modifications are, there's a huge update to the way that missiles work. They're going to be massively more powerful in 2.1. I know there's a certain person in the chat which is probably absolutely squeeing over the thought of missiles being incredibly more powerful. But yeah, it's going to be a change that we're going to have to try it. We're going to have to see in 2.1 beta, give it a try, see if it's massively overkill, try the different countermeasures, and you know, just feedback. That's the whole point of beta, is for us to give it a try, see what it's like. Oh, Prime 9. You can say that the randomness will almost certainly be something you address on the stream on Tuesday. Awesome, awesome. I will really want to tune in and watch that. Hopefully if things go well, I can sit and watch on that. Always going to be a hot topic, and while we can never please everyone, there's plans afoot. Yes, see, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Let's see. Frontier listen. They put in the things we want, and there's a really awesome video in the newsletter this week. I mean, you've probably seen it by now. This came out as part of the stream, and it's a nice little eagle flyby near one of the engineer bases, and it is amazing. And one of the things that it's just such a nice addition to the game. I don't think was ever initially planned by FDev, but it was something that players kept asking for. A lot of players kept saying, "Oh, can we have comms chatter? Can we have, you know, some kind of more interactive feedback when you're approaching a station and stuff like that?" And it's been added, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It really does add to the overall feel of the environment as you approach the stations and stuff. It just makes it feel more believable. Makes it feel like a real working station. It's just so awesome to see, and I love the fact that the engineers have just got some like kind of basic computer-generated voice rather than kind of like a genuine person sat doing the air traffic control. I think that's kind of nice. What's that Snoz say? So randomness is a pain to implement. There's always some process in place, which by definition means that it's not truly random. Yeah, it depends on the way that you set up your system, I suppose. It's ooh, what have we got here? An elite federal gunship. 99! We're at 99 and I'm almost at ammo. I'm probably going to have to do one more reload. We're going to make it. We are going to make it, folks. We're going to do it. Decent balanced random is very hard. Yeah, exactly. It's all a question of probabilities. That's what people tend to miss when they talk about a random system. They think it's random. It's really a question of setting up a probability curve and finding the sweet spot, which gives the appearance of the complex system under the hood. But you know, but still is genuinely enough chance in there to make it seem realistic. And I am dead of ammo, so let's do some module sniping on you, my friends. Take out your power plant. Oh, you bugger. Right, fixed weapons. There you go. Take out your power plant. I'm not going to take out your power plant, and I got Shan and Toad on his tail, blowing him the heck up. You will not get away! Right. Just let the guys know I've got to run for ammo. Oh, no, we don't want to go there. We want to go back to... Where was it? There's Robinson's Prospect, I believe it is. I get so confused. So the problem is with this little system, it's got the two outposts. One of them has got refueling and reloading. The other one's got repair. Let me just check. I always forget. Restock and refuel. Yeah. Who cares about fixing? We don't care about fixing. Quick check on the chat. Sorry, folks, if I've missed you tonight. We've been frantically pew-pewing away. I've lost where I am in the chat. Gilsoy, greetings, Commander, nice to see you. I have a question What VR for Elite or gaming, in your view, is the best for PC? Is it too early to say, like the Betamax versus the VHS 4? Yeah, I still think it is. It is too early to say. I mean, the biggest problem with Oculus at the moment is they have not released their touch controllers, so you can't really judge the two kits on a fair ground at the moment. I think once Oculus releases its touch controllers and you start to get more of these interactive experience with your hands as well, I think it's going to be better to determine which one of those kits is better between the Vive and the Oculus. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like any piece of hardware. I will buy a piece of hardware which works best with the software I want to run. It's a bit of a chicken and egg thing. So whichever one runs Elite better, I'm probably going to end up buying that one, because that's predominantly the game I'm going to be running on VR anyway. Whatever experiences I get on with it is a bonus anyway. The thing that is steering me, I suppose, if I had to pick one right now, and I'm not saying, hey, drop all your money on this one, I would say that I would steer more towards the Vive. It's a more complete experience. I know it's more expensive, but hey, if you're gonna get into VR, it's damn expensive. I would steer more towards the Vive. I mean, you get the whole room experience with it, and just generally, it's more of an open platform because it's on Steam, so more games are compatible with it. It just has better integration overall, I think, as a platform. Like I said, it's early days. Hopefully Oculus can start to solve some of their problems with that kind of integration and make it a bit more open and stuff. Oh, docking request denied. Get off my platform. I'm 99% so close. Heavy drinker. Yes, I have got not many kills left. Less than 20 kills left. Oh, come on, where is that? Get off my platform. I need my ammos. Gotta be around here somewhere, or is it? There's a platform, there's a platform. Yay! There we go, where is it? That one there. Quick reload and run back to the station. Oh no, it's caught me out. Always does that. Boom! There we go. Yeah, Sean, I know what you mean. It's that typical kind of MMO stuff where someone gets that lucky roll and they get a really, really awesome piece of equipment. Right, let's go there. Right, full load. Let's go. Racing back now. What's that? If unless you've used both, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you mean the VR headsets? Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, I have used both. I mean, I've been to the events and I've tried both of the kits out, and I must admit, just generally what you get in the box with the Vive just seemed better. But like I said, it's an unfair comparison at the moment until Oculus get their touch controllers out. I was inches away from the touch controllers at E3 last year, but it was like invite only. You could, I could see them. I even rather embarrassingly walked past Palmer Luckey in the toilets. Claim to fame, I know that's crazy. But yeah, I have seen them up close. I've tried both of them. I've not tried the touch controllers, but I think that it's fair to say at the moment that you can't really make a comparison to the two devices until they're both on an equal footing. They have the same level of functionality, really. What's that? Oh, Marcus Costa saying it's obvious. Just don't want to see cannons going unused like missiles in mines and torpedoes did. If they're not used, we're buffing. Yes, that's it, Prime. I see. That's what we like to hear. And I'm really glad the missiles are getting a boost in inabilities as well, because I mean, as Sandro said on the stream yesterday, you know, things like point defense, ECM stuff, they're woefully underused. I mean, I've not really had any need to use them all the way through the game so far. I'm really hoping we get back to that point when you see that, you know, missile alert flash up on the screen. It really is that tense moment where you have to consider breaking off your attack and you know, going for a you know, counter maneuvers and things like that. I really want to get back to that kind of style of thing, because that's how it was in the earlier games. It was that really kind of oh crap moment. As soon as you see that missile alert, you basically have to get out and dodge pretty quick. What have we got here then? What have we got? Shan, a deadly dropship. I'm going to go for the deadly Viper. It's close. It's in range. Lock and load. Snoz, that is a very, very good suggestion, actually, and I'd probably say that to anyone who's still on the fence about VR. Wait until next year and see what the next evolution of the equipment is before you're buying one. It is very much, it's a first-gen thing at the moment. You know, if you want to be an early adopter, I'm all for it. That's cool. But, you know, don't expect it to be an amazing and perfect experience at the moment without any rough edges, because that's how it is at the moment, really. Oh, Shania, I see him. Nake Toy. Hang on 1 second. I gotta take out this little elite adder here, because he's nice and easy. Oh, where did he go? Where did that Nake guy go? Buffy the Vulture Killers, Stephen Usher. A little deadly eagle, I'll have you. And he's in a wing of 7! Stupid crash, stupid crash, stupid crash. Done it again, didn't I? Did it again. That's okay, they're all deadly. We want deadlies anyway. Get in my targets, you. There you go. Pew, pew. Betamax versus VHS, Blu-ray versus HEDZ, Vive versus Oculus. Exactly, Heavy Drinker. It's the same thing all over again. But it's good to see competition in any kind of market space, really, because it drives innovation. That's kind of the point. You know, you really want to have at least 2 players in that market so that you get them trying harder to make something, you know, even if they don't make something which is better, at least make something at a competitive price. That's the best situation, really. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See, I'm using the Ed Tracker too much. See, I'm ducking from plasma rays. Gotcha. This is where I really love some of those weapon modifications now, like some of those thermal... Oh, what was it? The thermal rounds on the multi-cannon, just to do some shield damage if my lasers run out of pew. Where's that eagle gone? Oh, yes, Nos, good point, yes. Elite Meet, is that next year's Elite Meet is planning it for the Southwest? I should remember, because it sounds like I'm being roped into organising it, aren't I? Should be fun, should be fun. We'll figure something out. Jump out. You know what I mean, Toad, yeah. If you're having problems with weird ships shooting you, then try gonna jump in, mate. It doesn't matter. If I get blown up, nah. Come on, you. Fixed weapons. Terribly rude that these NPCs won't just die. So I'm trying to pay attention to everyone in chat. It's just rude. It's just rude. And that one just rammed me and took the rest of my shields in it. Abacus! Greetings, Commander! Lovely to see you there, my friend. Yes, we're on the final leg. I am on the race to elite. I am not going to stop and enjoy the newsletter until I hit it. I'm determined. What have we got here? A deadly sidewinder. You'll do. See if we can get close. Avaganda! Get my pew on. What's that, Vonatar? Can someone give me some tips on how to make some cash in Elite Dangerous without hours and hours of trading? You want to get back into it this weekend? Anything, practically. I mean, trading is the quickest way of making money, but practically everything that you do in Elite is pretty profitable now. I mean, in resource sites, I was hitting like ridiculous, I don't know, like 2 million an hour or something, without breaking a sweat in bounties. So it really is a case of, you know, do whatever you find the most enjoyable, really. Just wait for, yeah, you're on your own. You'll do, whilst my shields are recharging. Don't want to take on a wing with my shields down. You may see that my scanner keeps zooming in and out. That's not me constantly flicking the button. That is my X-52 on its last legs. I'm really getting worried about her. She's you know, she's lasted me a good time, I must admit. Are you on your own? 3 of 3. I can take on a 3 of 3. Where are your wingmates? That is the question. Yeah, see, every time I try and throttle back, the zoom goes. What are you? Deadly courier. Yeah, we'll take you. We'll take you. So I sat on everything except exploring. Well, you can make a reasonable amount of money exploring, but if you're exploring for money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. That's what I've always said. Toad's got the right idea. The main reason for exploring is to fill up your hard drive with awesome screenshots. That's what exploring is for. Oh, I can hear that railgun on my 6. Where are you? Got you. What are you? Pew 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 pew. Pew pew Charlie McGrew. Boom, boom, so close, so close. I can feel it. Screenshots, yes, Carkino, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to retire to exploration after I've reached combat rank. Gladly going to disappear off into the void. Don't know where yet. I'm gonna, oops, missed them. I'm gonna find a nice little patch of space with not many names on it, and just plaster my name all over those stars. Don't know where yet. I think I'm gonna try something different. I mean, a lot of people have gone to Beagle Point, the 65 Kylie Club. I considered that. I might leave that until next year. I mean, if there's going to be another Distant Worlds exploration next year, which I hope they do that again. I'd like to take part in that next year. So I'm hopefully going to leave that off until that. I fancy just finding a nice quiet patch somewhere in between nebulas that no one's really explored, no one's been there, even if it looks a bit dull, and just kind of mapping out that entire region, just because I can. So the closer Kerrash gets to elite, the more Gollum-like it sounds. Yes, keep looking at my rank, my precious. I got another one here. He's kind of flashing, but he's still marked as yellow on my scanner, which is frustrating. If you do see that, actually, interesting little tip, if you do have that weird issue, what you can do is just keep an eye on your own ship indicator on the right of the HUD there, and see if you can spot where the damage splashes are coming from on your shields or on your hull. Like I got some coming, I think, from behind and below at the moment. Oh, they've stopped now. Hang on. So you can kind of get a guess of where that other ship is getting you from. There we go. Shields online. Let's try and keep them that way for another 30 seconds at least. Squee break. Did it? Yes! 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 That's it. I don't care. I'm off. No more pews. Alright, I'll kill him. Yay! I did it. I didn't even notice. I don't care if I blow up now. I can blow up. That's it. Popped. Yay! That's it. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. Awesome. Thank you for all the help, Shan. Fiery Toad. Chris Hankey, I know he's not watching right now, but yeah, he's made it. Oh, what's this? What's this? I have an incoming call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, dog. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I've rang to wish you congratulations.
Thank you.
But as you know, we have a little something that we do on my stream when you achieve elite. And because I'm not on my stream, obviously, and you're doing yours, I thought I would bring this tribute to you here. So are you sitting comfortably with your whiskey?
I've got my Jamesons in hand.
Excellent. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. For my friend Kerrash has made it all the way to elite. For my friend Kerrash is now going to squeeze. Congratulations, mate!
Thank you, buddy! Cheers!
That's it, I'll leave you to it and I'll go back to watching with everybody else, but congrats, mate!
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. See you soon. Oh, awesome. Thank you, dog. That was awesome. Everybody drink. That's it. You can all drink now. You can all drink. Every word's a drinking word. Ah, let's cash this in. Yes. Yes. I can chill out. Actually, as I promised, we're quite happily orbiting away, so I think we will get onto the newsletter now. So, thank you, dog. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Ah, Dryden, yes, Dryden. If you missed that, I'm finally elite in combat. It's taken frigging forever, but I'm finally there. Finally there. Yeah! I just want to watch the animation. Boom, boom, boom. Woohoo! Ah, did it. I don't want to delete that. I want to leave it there. Right, newsletter time. Welcome to Kerrash Landing. Here's the newsletter. Let's get right onto it. Feet up now. We can relax. Newsletter 122. Ah, just when you think there couldn't possibly be any more squee, we get another awesome newsletter. Yes, the Road to Beta Part 3. Now, last week's newsletter was amazing. We had some fantastic things in there. And this week is no exception. There's some really, really awesome stuff in there. I want to try and give out some... Marcus, yes, good point, yes. Got to do that. Yes, earned it. Did it. I said right from the start, that was my plan. Couldn't get this without earning it, and so got it now. Screenshot and tweet it. Let's see if we can get it. Hang on, let's. Can we do it on that? We can do it like that. Can we screenshot? Oh, how can I screenshot that with the stream on there? Let's. I can't do both, I don't think. I will tweet that out in a second, Toad. Yes, let's get that out. Your turn to get elite next, dog. Yes, dog. Yes, you've got to get it. Thank you, Twithy. Thank you. Now I need a second tattoo. I think I'll need to at least get Mrs. K's name first on a tattoo before I think about any other game-related ones like that. Tattoo get, yes. See, I knew I had to go for it. Yes. So jumping back onto the newsletter. Yes, the big thing, obviously, the news I've already said about it right at the start of the stream is Xbox One players will be getting 2.0 and 2.1 in the first release of Horizon, which is nice so that all of the content can go over in one patch. Obviously, there's a delay between platforms, so that's understandable. It's a big job to port across platforms. Lots of things would have had to change. And some of the interesting things you might have seen in some of the information which had been leaked out not leaked out, but kind of announced about things coming into 2.1 is the fact that there's a whole bunch of optimizations going in for the planet rendering, and a couple of people have mentioned some things about the planets looking a little bit better. Well, yes, it's because the in the process of working on 2.1, the guys at FDev have figured out some more optimal ways of not only making them better, but making the shaders run faster as well for the same effect on the planet. So that's all being rolled into 2.1. So yes, the planets do look a little bit better, and it does mean that it can run more efficiently, which is great because that's all coming to Xbox One as well. So nice to see all those things coming back in. Academic, yeah! Imagine, what's that, a tramp stamp? I need to get a tramp stamp on my ass of Mrs. K's name, you're saying? Oh dear. Mr. Junkster, you got, what, 80% left? Yeah, you can do it. It doesn't take long. If you dedicate time, do it. Get to a compromised nav beacon. That seems to be the quickest way of doing it. Just hammer everyone and everything. Absolutely get out there and do that. What's that? Screen it. Oh, thank you, Snoz. You've already screened that, have you? Yay! Thank you. I will retweet that shortly. Thank you. But yes, the Xbox One trailer, which I believe is just a rehash of the existing Horizons trailer, so I don't think we won't show that one on there. But yeah, nice to see that everyone on Xbox is gonna get Horizons as well. Oh, look at these! I love these screenshots on there. Yeah, so I think it was mentioned last week. I think I kind of got a little bit of confusion when I was talking about some of these things. So I think the engineer bases at the moment are handcrafted from procedural elements. That was something I wanted to correct from last time. But yeah, you can definitely see elements, like particularly behind me, like on these patches here, where there's more detail in the areas on the surfaces, like blended regions. You can see here where there's different colors, different shades of stuff. So it definitely looks like the shaders on the surfaces have got a bit of a buff and a polish there to give them extra depth and layers to them, which is really, really nice to see, actually. Commander Johnny there. The way to elite is if it moves, shoot it. If it doesn't, shoot it until it does move. Nice. Shan, yeah, the engineer bases are absolutely awesome. It's nice to see a massive variation in the designs of them and everything like that. These huge, like, bridge structures arcing between the valleys and the canyons and things like that, which is really, really nice. Lots of very. It just goes to show that, you know, the engine can do all of these really cool, complicated shapes, and it's nice when the artists get a bit of you know, freedom to kind of, you know, a bit more flexibility. They can go and make these really cool structures and things like that. Obviously, I'm hoping it's kind of a placeholder where systems can be brought in to allow these kind of things to be built, you know, by the generation engine and things like that, which is really, really nice. But yeah, hopefully that will come later on down the line, because we know that, you know, the little points of interest and the things that we see pop up in some of these areas already are procedurally generated, but they're rather, you know, small and quite simple, which is understandable because it's massively complex to do all of the nodes in a graph that would generate all of the possible outcomes of a procedural system. I believe they're called OWL systems, if anyone wants to wiki that. OWL systems. I've done a little bit on those. They're quite fun. But yeah, something like this is obviously a lot more complex, and I'm hoping this is kind of a test bed for some of these more complex systems, because I would love to see some more interesting, you know, hidden bases and secret places out there with all this kind of stuff. What's that heavy drinker there? Your vector math is a bit cack. Shaders are a black magic to you. Shaders are fun. Shaders, I started playing with shaders in like 98, before they were even a thing, like software-based shaders, and then obviously GeForce came along and hardware accelerated a lot, and they were just so cool, the things you could do with shaders. I love playing with things like that. Just need atmospheres. Yeah, I would love to see. I mean, there is some nice effects. I mean, you'll see in the video, actually, if we can skip over to the video, because I love this video. Hopefully this video plays okay. Have we got the sound coming through? No. I've got to leave the sound going. But some of the nice things you might see in this video actually is right at the top of this tower.
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 06.
I love those voices. At the top of the tower, you notice there's like a spotlight, a searchlight going around in there. There's a bit of kind of atmospheric glare to it. A little bit of dust is kicked up, which is for it to reflect off and stuff like that. So there are some effects like that. But full-on atmospheres are definitely something I want to see later down the line. The interesting, I mean, when everyone thinks of atmospheres, they're always thinking Earth-like worlds. Everyone always thinks oxygen-based atmospheres, plants, trees, water, that kind of stuff. But I'm really hoping to start to see these different planet types with, you know, different kinds of atmospheres, you know, nitrogen-based atmospheres and methane atmospheres, and all these different variations of weather systems and things that come out of it. To me, atmospheres are going to be a really, really big and interesting thing that could be layered on top of the game, and doesn't have to just go straight to bang, there you go, you got Earth-likes. There can be some really, really interesting planet types come out which aren't just Earth-like worlds. What's that, Marcus Crosser? Bases inside mountains, caves, and also asteroid bases soon. Yeah, I would like to see that as well. Those hidden pirate bases, as I have on the signed artwork up here from Mr. Brooks. His favourite piece of artwork is the hidden pirate base. Oh, see, look at that, look at that. I love that. Fellow Sidewinder. Hi, Sidewinder. What have we got in there? Sorry, I'm missing the chat on there now because I've been waffling away. Game of the Inn, saying there, great game, is still a massive amount of potential. Yes, D. Harris, absolutely. Game of the Inn saying, yeah, can't wait to see where we are in 3 years. Exactly, it's just like incrementally improving year on year. You know, patch on patch, things are just getting progressively better and better every single time. It's just awesome to see where the game is and where it's coming to. It's cool. Don't breathe it in, Snell's saying, yeah. Controller voices, yes, Mr. Jinx. Happy Friday! Hype levels rising, sick boy, yeah. It's getting hype. It's getting hype. 2.1.
Touchdown complete. Engaging ship restraints.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Such a nice little addition to the game. It seems like such a simple thing, but it really does just bring the believability out massively. Mad Dog, there's some methane atmosphere in here tonight. Ew, dog. Dear. Blue landing icon. Yeah, see, obviously that's what we're seeing. I mean, that might be placeholder, that might change, it might go to a regular one, but blue landing bays, they tend to be, you know, special areas, secret special areas. Dobbo, what could they be growing in those biodomes? Onion head? Yeah, I think that was hinted at a couple of times in the newsletter, wasn't it? Which was, it was quite funny to see those big biodomes on there. I wonder if they are in there, actually. It was mentioned in here. There we go, biodomes. Let's get that up full screen for everyone on there. Yeah, it's interesting to see. I didn't see this on the first time around, actually. It actually stuck up out of the structure as well. But yeah, what have we got in there? Let's have a quick look. We got definitely some trees. It looks like it's, you know, replenishing oxygen on the surface of that planet there. It just goes to show that you don't need an oxygen atmosphere. Oh, lost the stream? Hang on. Still here, Gil, if you haven't got us. A couple of drop frames, nothing much. If there was a bit of a glitch, I'm still here. I will wait for everyone to say they come back. Pause play works with refresh. What's that dog? You used to vape to wean off? Didn't know you vaped, dog. You're back. You're back. Okay, we're back on the air. I was just feet up, enjoying the scenery. You know, 2.1 alpha. Yeah, I wish I had access to that. Few glitches. We gotta love Twitch being twitchy. Gotta love it. But yes, it's nice to see little details of this. I mean, this takes me right back to Ross 158. This is like surface of Merlin, isn't it? Definitely seeing those biodomes for the first time. I think that's what did it for me last week. I saw the screenshot of the first look at these biodomes, and I was like, yes, finally. It looks like what we had. It's brilliant. But yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, there's definitely some little trees in there. Looks like it's an oxygen replenishment system they've got on there. Obviously, if they're going to be on the surface of a planet, on a secret base for a long period of time, they're going to need some systems to do that. And trees are about the most efficient way of doing that. So, yeah, you can't beat them. But, ooh, sorry. Pause the chat. Ah, no, I've just closed the chat window. Sorry, I can't see you chatting. Now's the time to swear at me. There we go. Bring the chat window back up. Sorry, folks, lost the chat for a second then. Going to Very Valley Forge. Yes, right. I've got you back in chat now. There we go. See, you didn't even notice. 30-second delay and all that. I could have got away with closing the chat and no one noticing anything. Yes. So moving down on there. Yes, engineers. That's the big headline feature for 2.1. It's all about these people that are going to be giving us these nice little benefits and module upgrades and stuff like that. Snoz, you didn't get away with it. I caught you, Snoz. Maybe I am an arse, but yeah, okay, I'll let you have that one. So yes, Todd the Blaster McQuinn has had a bit of a facelift, bit of a visual upgrade. Changed from the last time we saw him. He hasn't got the mechanical exo skin suit thing on that he had last time. But yeah, had a bit of a haircut, got a bit of a nasty scar. But yeah, nice to see him change that. Of course, everything we've seen up until now is all placeholder stuff. I mean, what tends to happen with any kind of content update like this is you put all the placeholder and stuff in early, and you kind of incrementally build the systems on. So yeah, obviously this is hopefully the final look of Blaster there. Vaping onion head. What are you on about? That's that, Junks. Yeah, hashtag refund, unfollow. Got himself a facial scar in the process. Yeah, so the little read up on him about Todd the Blaster McQuinn is he got his reputation from his time in CQC and is built up a little bit of a following. Got some people to help him out and set himself up on this secret base. And I was reading what was his modification speciality? Does it mention? I don't think it mentions his speciality actually. No, bit of a bounty hunter. Overpowered multi-cannons. I think he's going to be a bit of weapon specialist, don't you? I think that definitely is hinting towards that. Yes, his appearance has been in some development. I'll say there, exactly like I said. It's Darth Plagueis. Got that scar from a horrible nose-picking accident. Yeah, I was like, something like that. Blasters. Oh, what am I missing in the? Shan is going to drop all of that horrible pew pew equipment from his Condor now. He doesn't need to be helping me pew away. Thank you, Shan. Thank you again. It's internet. He does powerful things with multi cannons and frag cannons. Thank you, Prime. Thank you. I missed that. I did have a few seconds to skim through this before I start tonight. So the Dweller is another engineer which has been mentioned. I think it does So it says he's a mysterious contact in the Aganip underworld, and it does hint at where his location is. I think in the first screenshot. We'll get into that. Liz Ryder, another engineer there, loves explosives. Amassing enough landmines to destroy a small moon. Maybe she will. Yeah. Maybe she will. Oh, what's that, Bitstorm? Forums are getting angry over about the engineer changes. Yeah, I mean, Bitstorm, we kind of touched on a little bit about that. It's like, it doesn't matter how you do something. There's always going to be people that do and don't like something, but that's just the way things are. The way where the engineers live, yeah, I mean, we touched a little bit on this as well. They're in what used to be secret hidden bases in these places, but obviously they've gathered enough resources and amassed enough fortune over the years of their secret doings that they've managed to expand their bases into these fully working operations here. But you're going to have to kind of make contact with them. You're going to have to find contacts with them. You're going to have to get rumors and hints from other people, and then might find out their location. Then you're going to have to gain enough reputation with them to find out where their base is. You're not going to be able to approach or land at their bases without being trusted by them, and then you're going to have to do a contract initially with them in order to start getting some of the benefits that they offer. So there's going to be a bit of a kind of introduction for every engineer you find, and I think there's something around 30-ish engineers, which might change depending on, you know, if there's balance. Karakino, yes, now I'm going to have to explore until I'm elite as well. Absolutely, that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to chill out and explore for at least a few weeks. Absolutely, just going to chill out for the next couple of weeks. It has been I want to say a long slog, but it has been hard work getting all the way to elite over the last couple of weeks. Long overdue though. I should have done it last year sometime, but the problem is I've never focused on a single goal. I've always just kind of like, I was like, oh, try a little bit of this, and oh, try a little bit of this, and oh, help with this community goal, and oh, do this, and that's just how I've always played. I've never focused on it. I could have done it ages ago. I think I've proven that in the fact that I went all the way through Deadly in about 3 weeks. What's that, Prime 9? We worked out the volume. If every player donated enough landmines to her to complete her optional bits, the volume of mines was measured in planets. I have no idea what she's planning. Oh dear, yes, that's way too much explosives for one person. What's that? Crash, Gyolsoy there. Enjoyed the time jumping back again, but I've had to head to the wife. Go on, grats on the elite and drop in the website if you get a chance. Yes, Gyolsoy! Thank you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon. Get some tasty materials. Yeah, I've got a little bit of Jumponium left, I think. What materials? I was gathering a whole bunch of it. Yeah, I got some vanadium, some germanium, arsenic, niobium, yttrium. I got a few jumps, big jumps as well. I got 7 premium jumps and 16 basic I could do. It's just not bad. Not bad at all. Let's head back here. No, I want to repair. Look at my cracked windscreen. How do you celebrate getting to elite? Drift off into the black. Just that's it. Go on. Off I go. ZX Specky! Greetings, Commander! That is a name. That is an awesome name. What you look forward to, mate, is the engine upgrades. Yes, yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, all of the upgrades we've seen so far have been weapon-based modifications and things like that. Of course, there's been lots of hints of the fact that there are non-combat upgrades that are planned as well. There's lots of additional upgrades and things that are coming in, and I want to see those as well. What kind of things we get for experts. See, that's the thing. I want to go off exploring. At the same time, I want to wait for 2.1 to drop to see if I get any nice explorer-based enhancements. So I might go a couple of thousand light years out, just find a nice little patch and sit out there. I could always head back. Actually, can I reach? This is for you, ZX Becky. Look at this. Look, always the hand. I love my retro. I got the 81 handy as well, actually. Shatteray, exactly. Yes, I I wasn't going to mention the planet that shall not be named, but as you said it, yeah, the traditional thing is you hit combat elite and then you wander off exploring in search of Raxla. Yes, the Dark Wheel. I may have some contacts in the Dark Wheel, so I might head out that way. We'll see. I have got the little rubber key variant as well, Specky, but it's actually in like a portable carry case with the tape drive and everything in there, and it's kind of tucked away on that. That is my pride and joy. I learned to code on that, and it's got pride of place there. It's my absolute favourite, but I can't reach it at the moment because, like I said, it's tucked away in a box safely. The rest of them are out on shows so that I can plug them in, and I do want to do another retro stream. I know I keep threatening to do it. I really want to do another retro stream at some point. I'm going to try and build up a combination of games we can try. Maybe I'd like to do another little kind of comparison stream if we can get some other things on there. Yeah, Homicide. Yes, Homicide. I have the 81 right here. Let's go big screen for that. Got the little ZX81. Look at the old doorstop. Door wedge, such a fantastically simple little thing, but you know, awesome for its time. Fair play. Love it. I got the Amigas down here as well, but I am a bit of a retro geek. I love my retro hardware. I got the NES and some of the older consoles over there as well. ZX used to play the original 8 and the Lords of Midnight. Ah, yes. See, I missed the original Elite the first time around because I was too young. I saw my dad playing it, didn't understand it. What processor does the ZX run? It's the Zilog, Z80. Of course it is. It's exactly the same as the other chips, I think. Actually. The special thing about the Specky is the Ferranti ULA. I'm just a baby. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I grew up playing Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga. That was my introduction to the series. And then kind of went back and dug up the Spectrum and found some of the games that my dad used to play, which was too hard for me when I was little. And put some of them in, and I was like, didn't even know Frontier had a prequel. I kind of came into the series on version 2. Didn't know it was a 2. So I've had a bit of a strange introduction to it. Oh, Johnny S, you got the ZX Becky emulator running on Elite on the Raspberry Pi 3. Awesome. I want to get a Raspberry Pi 3. I've got to get, and I've got the original Pi. Oh, in-game commandos. So let's add you now. Let's add you now. Fumbling the controls. Keyboard's too far away. Boom. There we go. Sorted. Request sent. Awesome. Anubis, speaking of hardware, what chair are you using? Looks comfy. Do you know what? I can't even remember what this thing's called. It was on offer on Amazon. It was like some ridiculous price, like £200 or something like that. But then I managed to get one for like 70 quid, which I thought, that's a bargain. I'm going to grab one of those. Oh, wow. Wow. Brutal, you hand-programmed a Z80 with dip switches. Oh, my goodness. I've seen some systems, but I've never had to work on a system at that level. I kind of understand the basics of that sort of thing, but not to that level. I can do I could do a bit of Z80 assembly. I kind of, but bare metal, I would have to get out the pen and paper and figure out what I'm doing, I think, to do that. Yeah, it's Becky Elite on 48K stuffed into that thing. It was crazy how much was in there. Stephen Usher, yes, exactly. See, yeah, I'm totally geeking out now. I want to get out the my assembly books in it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the ZX81 used the CPU to do the display as well, which meant it had to stay in lockstep. So it was a lot slower because it was doing all of the frame output and stuff like that. But when the Specky came along, the 48K Specky had that EULA chip, which did all of the display. It was almost like an asynchronous coprocessor doing its business. So the CPU could be freed up to do other things, which is really cool. Academic, I make you feel really old. I'm sorry. I'm old as well. Don't worry, I'm really old. Don't worry about it. What's that? Oh, heavy drinker. You went Specky Amiga Linux. Nice. I went to PC. I went Windows. It wasn't by choice. I was given a 386 with DOS on it, and that was my step up after the Amiga. Otherwise, I would have been on the same path. But I do have a Linux server that I run the odd things on. So yeah, same thing. Oh, sorry, what's that? No info on Tuesday stream yet. No, Prime 9 sent out yet. We can't do that. Well, you had to do it as part of your physics undergrad. That seems evil, making you do that for physics. Programming things with dip switches, for example. But yes. So as I was saying, yes, the bases here, as you can say, this they've grown, you know, smelting their own ore, which is obviously it's hard to hide from space. So they've grown into these massive bases. Which is interesting to see like that, but obviously they've kind of got their own jurisdiction, their own law and everything in that area. So and their willingness to work with you is all based on reputations. You don't want to be breaking the law in their airspace. Interesting thing about it is like everyone can have an entire planet as their own personal airspace. That's insane. Oh wow, that's quite a list there. Stephen actually got ZX81, ZX16, Memotech 500, Sinclair QI. I never had the QI. I was one of them. BBC Micro, Atari 520, Atari TTO30, Sun 380, and then onto PCs. Twitty, oh, you were a Commodore kid, VIC-20, C64, and then Amiga 600. Can I reach my 600? She's a little bit worse for wear, bless her, but Windows 600, I love my 600. Awesome. I always wanted the C64. Oh, but I never had the C64, but I do have the Plus 4, which is rare because they weren't very good. I admit that, they weren't very good. The C16 was a lot better, I think. Oh, I'm missing some chat on there. Oh, the pad was in use. Am I on the pad? So yeah, so over the next couple of weeks, I think I'm going to be off doing some exploring, chilling out a little bit, and then I think maybe every other stream or something, I'll do a little bit of CQC. I'm going to try and work on my CQC rank at the same time as exploring as well. I'm much further behind on the CQC, but I'm hopefully trying to get that up at the same time as well. So there was a little it's in this view on there. Yeah, so I think Mad Dog mentioned it actually, was the getting some mats that made me think of this. So in order to get some of these benefits, you're going to have to get some really, really interesting little materials and things for these people, which we'll get to in a second on there. What's that, Karakina? I think you've never been asked this. Can Elite use both of your 2x Xeon E5? Is it optimized for dual processors? I'm trying to understand how my system is ready for what is coming to your home in July. You're getting a dual processor setup, which I mean, I believe the operating system would hide the physical setup of your CPUs, so Elite would just see multiple cores available, and as far as I'm aware, the Cobra engine is multi-core optimized, so yes, I assume so. I'm not on the engine team, so I can't confirm or deny that, but yeah, I would assume it would be. Oh, Specky, you got the A600. See, I love the 600. I know it was underrated. Everyone complained about it because it didn't have the number pad, and I really wanted a 1200 because everyone else had a 1200. Not fair. But yeah, I like my 600. It was nice and compact. It did the job. Actually, I literally have all of my old things. I mean, in my little man cave, I've got all of my old machines just available at any time. So if I want to just plug them into the screen here, I don't have enough space to have them all set up and running, which would be really cool. But I can just pull anyone else. Right, I want to go on this. I want to go on the Specky today, and do it. Yeah, I like doing that. What's that, Snozza? He looks like he's someone shoved something up. No comment. Stephen Usher, Elite Dangerous seems GPU bound rather than CPU bound. Yeah, I think there's a lot more stuff has been pushed to GPU recently. I think particularly with Horizons, there's a lot of shader math going on for the surface details and stuff to be generated. So I think there's a lot more things going on on the GPU. So Prime 9 saying there, yeah, it's been tested on 16 processor machines, reacted strangely but worked. You can see this, until you try these setups, you know, that's the problem with the PC as a platform, is there's so many different variations. Everyone's going to have a different setup on there. I'll see you. It's gonna be interesting to see how that runs on your machine. Give it a try. Let us know. I'd be interested. But we want to be. Yes, it is going to be nice to see Prime 9 on the streams finally. We've wanted him for so long on these streams. It's going to be nice to see him put a face to the name and hopefully get some questions across to you, sir. We'll give it a try anyway. I will in no way abuse my moderation powers in order to get my question on the list. Oh, you tried it on one of the one of custom machines sat at home. Nuts, isn't nuts? Yes. So the description here: the Dweller, another engineer mentioned on here. Probably the most interesting thing for everyone who is watching right now, and this is where you're going to want to rush off to next week when the beta hits sometime next week's weird system. WYRD is listed as home system. Now, whether or not that is going to make it into the beta, or whether that's just a placeholder until the real home system is there, but that's probably where you're going to want to start looking for an engineer. So shh, secret, just between us. Don't tell anyone. It's not like we're broadcasting this live or anything. Just between you and I. But yeah, so I think the interesting things you see on this screen, obviously, is there's 5 grades to the modules modifications that you can get as you work through your reputation. You unlock these higher and higher grades of weapon modules, and I believe the Dweller is the guy that's going to give us access to things like the overcharge multi-cannons. But Wildebeest, yes. I was as soon as I saw that name, weird. It's like, yeah, I remember that. Way back when we had that many systems, just the little bubble, the little sausage, in the Erenin region. Yes, it's in the old region, absolutely. So write that down. Don't forget. Next week when you can get to beta, give that a go. Get over to there. But yeah, you can see here he can modify the power distributor or the pulse lasers. I think on the next one down, here you go. You can do the overcharging. And this is the interesting thing I wanted to point out. So you got some of the I say ingredients, for lack of a better term, the micro resources they're called here, the things you're going to need, and commodities as well. So in order to get this particular modification, you need all these things listed here. The interesting things, obviously nickel is things that we can get on surfaces with the SRV, but then you've got these other things as well, like the conductive components, electrochemical arrays, security firmware patches, things like that. I'm going to be intrigued as to where we get those. They seem like something which you'd have to pass hand to hand with another person. So I get the impression those kind of commodities are going to come from doing missions. So there's going to be much more of a drive, I think, in 2.1 from now on, is that you're going to have to do these missions for these kind of rewards, which is fine, because I mean, when you think about it, most of these missions are pretty basic anyway, but we all tend to go for the ones which have got the biggest payout. It's going to be nice to go for the ones which is like, oh, they're going to give me 7 security firmware patches if I deliver this thing to the next system. Nice and simple job. I can stash up these micro resources in a box in the back of the ship, and I'm done with, which is nice. You know, you can get these things nice and easy. I reckon that's when they're going to come in. What's that private note saying? If you get near to the engineers without having be invited, they will get very busy and they have big guns. Yeah, yeah, that's where I was getting to. Yeah, you don't want to be getting near their bases without getting the reputation up first, which is going to be interesting, because obviously there's going to be a lot of things in the community where people are going to share that information about where the engineer bases are, and the great thing about them being on the surface of a planet is you can have that exact XY coordinate of where they're going to be, the longitude and latitude. So if people start sharing those things out on the forums, obviously people are going to try and get there without being invited, which they can very well do, but they're going to be entering into airspace which they're not invited, which could get interesting. But there we go. So that's specking. I really look forward to the engineers for the big the massive, the huge multi-cannon mounts and the huge what was it we saw, the beam lasers. Crazy. It's a really nice coming. Some of the interesting things you see on the left hand side here. So the primary effects on you can see. I think you just mentioned there. Yeah, that's the jitter is being negatively impacted there. Or no, actually, where is it? Yeah, there's yeah. So if you read the description at the top, it explains what's going on with the bars on there. Weapon modification loses accuracy, but increases power to load, increases damage output. There's more you can do if you have the credit. So yeah, so there's you can see on the very left hand side there with the modifications here we got sturdy mount, overcharged weapon, all the different variations. I think Prime now can probably correct me if I'm wrong. I think do some of these modifications stack, or is it one modification per module? My impression was that some of them could stack, but it depends on the type. Not sure on that. Not sure. But yeah, you get the option which I'm thinking of, that you can preview the outcome if you do that, which I believe is on the next screen. So let's get down to the next screen. Yes, Prime. No, I did think that was right, actually. Yeah. So just say that there's some misleading numbers in the primary effects because you're still nailing down the details of the UI. Don't reach too much into the stats. Yeah, I read through the description, then looked at the stats earlier on when the newsletter came out, and I think that seemed kind of the opposite. That seems counterintuitive to what's saying up there. So yeah, of course, it is all placeholder. That's the point of beta. So yeah, don't listen to me too much. Shut up, Snoz. Jitter equals accuracy like bullet spread. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So you got multi-cannons kind of going all over the place. Yeah, so you get a finer breakdown on the screen when you preview it, and then obviously you get the option at the bottom here to review the cost and apply that modification if you want to. Snaz is not going to shut up. Okay, don't shut up, Snaz. That's fine. Carry on. Yeah, but it's interesting to. I think it's a nice clear screen. I mean, it kind of falls in line with the outfitting screen. Blue is good, red is bad. You can see the percentage shift one way or the other. You can see how much of a potential benefit you're going to get. Hang on 1 second. Let me do that again. No, there we go. Move to the correct window. Yeah, so you can see the percentage range of the effects that you might get. Do we see the effect after and before? So you have the immediate view in between here, so you can see what elements you're going to use up by attempting to apply this modification. Obviously, there's a potential the modification could fail or could produce results which are not 100% accurate. I think, to be honest, a lot of these resources are going to be pretty easy to come by. You can amass a lot. I mean, when you look at what people have done with like with the materials on the surfaces, I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, they're so hard to find, so hard to find. I must admit, once you've got down there and you start searching for materials that's on the surface, it doesn't take long for to find all the materials that you really want to get anyway, so it's not a I don't think it's going to be a big thing, but definitely in the beta it's the time to start feeding back and saying, hey, this is the percentage of these types of things, like the firmware upgrades. Maybe you don't get enough of them for doing various things, so it's something that might need a bit of doing. What's that? 2D pulse laser? Yeah, it's also a size 2 class D, isn't it? Not that it's two-dimensional. You can only fire on a plane. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, game with it. Yeah, exactly. It makes sense that 2.1 was held back to add all this extra layer. Plus, there's so much has gone into it. I mean, the UI team have again outdone themselves. I mean, they did so much work getting the PowerPlay user interfaces working, because that was a heck of a lot of work for the UI team. And again, they've massively outdone themselves with all these. I mean, all of these elements are widgets that had to be created for all of these different sliders and bars and things like this. So it's it's a lot of work to get into these kind of things here. And again here, so you can see, I believe what is shown in the indication here, you got the little markers, the circles with the lines on, shows you where you hit in this modification attempt. Obviously, you've got the blue range there, so it could go from on the damage per second here. It could go from 13.07. It could go up as high as 13.51 if you get a lucky boost, lucky special effect or something like that. But in this case, it's gone up 13.22. by using these modifications on there, which, you know, shows us a bit of variation. So, you know, there could take a few attempts to do it. Shan rate, yeah, exactly. It still takes time to find them, and I found that when I was looking for, you know, 100% jumponium, that you know, it took me forever to find some niobium or whatever I was looking for. Everything else, I found loads of yttrium, I found all the other things, I found loads of that stuff, and then the niobium I just could not find it. I was just scouting for days to find those last couple of materials that I wanted. But I'm not sure actually whether or not the UI was done in scale form. Most of the things that Frontier tends to be in-house. So I'm not sure. I don't know whether Prime knows what the UI guys use to build up these elements. Obviously, it's all vector-based stuff. It's all procedural, which is really cool. So the resolution can see, and it looks absolutely beautiful on a 4K monitor if you are lucky enough to own one. Prime Night, I got to read that out verbatim because that's awesome. One of the newer guys got the changelog for 2.1 recently, and it went something like this: 10 minutes of quiet scrolling, gentle laughter, more scrolling. Well, beep me, I thought that break was the end. Yeah, I was going to say, we've all been kind of assuming that the 2.1 changelog is going to need new servers to host the file on, I think, just for the changes. Oh, greetings, Bifford. Farewell, Bifford. Thanks for popping in briefly. Yes, the changelog is going to be epic. I can't wait to see it. Absolutely, absolutely epic. Here we go. So, this was the other one? So, hang on. We had the what's that? Configuring results. Then we have the next screen as well, which I believe shows the secondary effects we're getting. I mean, well, that's not too bad. I mean, it looks like a minor change on it. Here you go. 323% armor piercing boost on that weapon. Now, that's a big jump on there. You know, I think when you start factoring these things, you look at something like 1% increase in damage per second doesn't look very big, does it? But when you actually start, like Prime was saying, you start looking at the numbers and tweaking it out and getting the layers in there, yeah, you realise how much of a big boost on it can go. But we're looking at scale form for a Unity project, but you think it's probably overkill. See, that's the problem with big libraries like that. I love them in that they come with all these features and everything you get with them. But I often find myself like doing things like, I just want something with a couple of buttons and a text box. That's all I want. And you look for a library, and the library's got everything in the kitchen sink, and you think, oh, I don't want to really use that. I'll just go back to using something simple, or just do it myself and stuff like that. And then you start hand cranking things, and then you get down the path later on where you want those features which are in that library, and it's always a kind of balance, a trade-off between what you're going to do. See, there, Prime Nights, that's why I didn't want to point that out until I got confirmation of you. Yeah, display area, it shouldn't be 323%. There you go. That's a bit of an error. But yeah, it's what's that? Stephen, is there a modification for torpedoes to make them wedding bar seeking? Well, they do have better tracking in 2.1, so. And here's the final one we got on there as well, is this illustration of a special effect you get in there. It was as a random chance on top of the extra layer. Modification, which is nice to see those special effects on there. I like that. It's an interesting system, and I can't wait to play it. And I think I'm going to reserve judgment until I get a chance to play it and see what the drop rates are for the various module types and things you need. I think it's at the moment like it's too hard to say whether or not it's going to work in all of the situations. So I think we're definitely going to have to wait until the beta next week and give it a go. I think that's definitely worth looking at in full later next week, to be honest. What's that pronunciation? All you say is C++ really hates brackets being in the wrong place if you manage to put them somewhere technically legal. Oh, so many times I've been editing code and I'll end up putting an extra brace in somewhere, and then all the indentation goes out, and I just trying to find where you've accidentally slapped that extra brace in, breaking everything below it. It's just, sometimes that really catches me. I hate that. still, modern editors make it a lot easier. A lot easier. So I think, can I cash in some bounties? I've got a few bounties to cash in. What am I doing in the bulletin board? I don't want to go to the bulletin board. I want to go to contacts. No, I'm an independent, aren't I, idiot? Let's see where I am. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Seriously, right, what did I leave over here? I've left a sidey over in HIP. I can get back to HIP without going pop, I think. I think I can. We'll give it a go. Oh, here we go. Emacs, CLang, Vi, GCC, JS, and here we go. We got all of the editor wars have started again. I am happy to use whatever editor is available on the system that I am stuck using, because that's usually what ends up happening. Is I'm on someone else's system, and they've got some random tools on there, and I just kind of got to get used to using whatever's there. Stephen Nash, I like that one. Emacs. Eventually Malik's all computer stories. Memory leak for the win. Microsoft's M editor. Was that the... Oh, was that the one that they used for the assembly command line? Oh, I can't remember now. It was a long time ago I was using that. Yes, Prime, yeah, I've had that in Visual Studio as well. The compiler's just kind of like, oh, yeah, I think that's what you mean. Boom, just lets you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's the problem, as much as Visual Studio is nice, it does let you get away with murder in a couple of situations, which then other, as you say, other compilers then go absolutely nuts. You can't do that. That's not valid syntax. That's not ANSI standard. Ah, boom. Oh, but Woodbeast, yeah, the Visual Studio compiler is very good. Exactly like Prime was saying, it lets you get away with murder. It you know, it really it's really nice and simple, and you can throw things together, and you can, you know, cut and paste stuff. But you often find things where it's you'll get a project from some open source thing or something like that, and it works in Visual Studio. You try and port it to some other thing, and it just like no. Okay, farewell, John. Yes, thank you for joining in. Lovely to see you tonight. What's that? Yes, pronoun. Some things it doesn't even highlight as warnings. Yeah, what's the? There's an option you can turn on in Visual Studio, which I tend to do, which is you turn on like every possible warning it comes up as an error, compiler error. Sometimes I turn that on, but I think on really big projects it's scary because you turn it on and you realize how many potential pitfalls you have in there. It's a real nightmare. Alan Davout, greetings, Commander. Nice to see you tonight, my friend. We're just having a bit of a geek out on compilers, editors, various programming languages, things like that, as you do, which I can happily talk about for hours. And I am very close to running out of fuel. I think we can do it. But Wildebeest, is that more of a problem with the C++ standard definitions and interpretations? Yeah, that's kind of where it starts becoming a bit of a grey area, but yeah, it depends on what functionality you want out of your IDE, I suppose. Zero Cow, greetings! Thank you for joining on the chat. You've missed all the fun, I'm afraid. We had all of the fun in the first half hour. I finally hit the highest combat rank you can achieve in the game, which has been my goal for the last few weeks, and I'm just chilling out now. I'm chilling out. We've hit my goal early. We've been reading through the newsletter. Some awesome stuff coming from 2.1 next week. I cannot wait for the beta to hit. Oh, I am very close to running out of fuel. We should be able to make it. Call the fuel rats. Oh, Shan, of course you're a fuel rat, aren't you, my friend? Yes, you are nearby. Yes, you know where I am. See, that is the question now. I really want to, because I know, Shan, we were talking about this when you said to take a conda. I'm wondering what to outfit to go exploring. I've got the asp is sat there, which I went out on my last little exploring excursion. But I'm wondering what to do next. What is the ship I should take? What outfit should I put on it? We'll give it a go. I give it a go. We'll have a look. Maybe we can get up to Shinrata. I'll dump my combat vessel here. Because, of course, one of the things which is coming very soon, this was confirmed by Michael Brooks himself and announced on the live stream yesterday, was the ability to move ships from location to location is something that they really want to get in the game, and we have been screaming for everyone to do that. So I really want to wait until that's in there. So I'm going to leave my ships scattered all over the place because, quite frankly, there's no point gathering all my ships and bringing them to one place if I can then move them later on. Stephen Usher, maybe join the exploration CG. I want to, but if it's going to expire in a week, I want to go out for a couple of weeks. I'm going to be gone exploring for quite a while, so I don't think I'm going to be back in time for that CG. But I don't know. Heavy drinker, yeah, D-class everything. My asp is, I don't think it's entirely D-class. I've put a couple of nice bells and whistles on it. Fiery Toad, wait for 2.1 and then trick out the asp. Yeah, I know. That's. I want to go exploring, but at the same time, I want to wait for 2.1 for all the nice module things. It's just too many. There's too much to do in this game, and not enough time to do it all. Anubis, I think you are in good company. And likewise, I am developer by day and commander by night. Yes. Prime 9 CQC until 2.1. That's a good point. Yeah, I could do some CQC work on my rank because I am behind on my CQC rank. It's much further behind on that than I am on my exploration. That's a good point. We could do that. Like I said, I did want to do a little bit of CQC and exploration, kind of alternate over the next few weeks of streams anyway, so might as well get a head start on that. Buddha Beast, do you know anyone who's going to start a second character when 2.1 lands? You're tempted. I know a few people, Shan, Toad, Dog, I think you've all got second characters, haven't you? I don't have a second character, but I might just take a break and help my son on anything he wants to do on his character. Obviously, we both got the season pass, so, or the lifetime pass, I should say. Oh, Toad, don't say that as well. Planet Coaster Alpha starts on May the 24th as well. I know. Frontier, could you please stop making awesome games? I only have so many hours in a day to do everything. It's just, you've got 3 accounts. Snoz has got 3 accounts. Toad's got 3 accounts. That's... Oh, legacy fine. Yeah, okay, right. I might have accidentally clipped a security ship the last time I was in this system. It's okay. It was a misunderstanding. It's fine. It's done now. It's done now. Yes, wasn't me. Right, let's sell my suicide winder. We jump in a holder. Jump in a holder. See, I want to get, where am I? Rank 42, I think I was on CQC. So I get another 8 ranks. I can get the first level of prestige. Then I can get access to the CQC system. That would be a nice, that would be a nice goal, I think, to get that far. Hopefully, fingers crossed. What's that pronoun? What's that? I missed what's that. Anyone with the Galaxy snapshot for the beta will be... don't know. Guess it already has happened. Yeah, I assume that actually, Prime 9 at the snapshot. I mean, if anyone hasn't been following along, I mean, what normally happens on when the beta update is a backup, a snapshot of the current Commander data is taken at some point a few weeks before the beta. So next week when we're in beta, we're going to be seeing our own Commander accounts from a few weeks back. So I'm probably going to be deadly in somewhere else. But anyway, we'll miss on that. Zero Cow Elite Dangerous for Xbox news. Yes, we covered that right at the start. Yes, quarter 2, we're going to be seeing both 2.0 and 2.1 updates for. Did I just sell my... Oh, please say I didn't just... LOL! I just sold my assumption. Yes, I did, Sean. I don't need it now. What do I need fighting for? I could just... It was a nice loadout. It's fine. It served me well. It's done. She didn't even get christened with a name, and I sold her. I sold my Federal Soldier. Never mind. But drink to my my Federal Control Z. Yes. Oh. She served me well. She served me well. Never mind. 10% off everything. Yeah, I probably lost a few million in credits there. It was a little scratched. Exactly. Night Snoz. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Nice to see you. Anubis, this is the only drink you can celebrate with Elite. Is Jameson whiskey. Gotta have it. Gotta have a bit of Jameson. And if you are new to the game, you probably won't know. I mean, in the prequels to Elite, you played as Commander Jameson. That was the name of the character that you played in the very first version of Elite. Gotta have it. Customer service. Nah, it's alright, Prime 9. It's my own stupid fault. I'm not going to go pester the CS guys on that. Exactly, Marcus Scott. See, that's the thing, is that don't drink in flight, otherwise you might accidentally sell your ship. Exactly. These things happen. See, that's the difference between me and most people. Say, if I do something stupid like that, I take it in my stride and carry on. Shrug. Yeah. I'm not going to go rant, start a forum thread, and scream on Reddit. Rightio. Anyway, stupidity aside, we've got a couple of more sneaky peeks. Let's try and get these zoomed in so everyone can see. What's that? Oh, what have I done? Who's that saying that? Hey! Accepted the friend request on there. Let's get the engineer archives. Yes! So, one more interesting view of one of the modifications on there. What's this? The phasing sequence. Modulating the burst fire system designed to defeat shielding. A small amount of thermal damage is able to bleed through the shields and attack the target's hull directly. So I assume the way that works is you can start doing hull damage before the shields go down. I think that's what that's implying there, is you can start to just pick away at the hull plating a little bit by bursting through the shield phasing. There's a nice effect on that as well, like the grid-like pattern. It's almost like it's modulating the laser output with the shield frequencies so that it leaks through. I think it's a nice little effect now. Base weapon is on the burst laser for that particular effect on there. Again, we're going to have to try all of these different variations and see what works, what doesn't, what good countermeasures for these kind of things. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up, I think. It's going to be very difficult to try all these different variations. Twithy, no, actually, the Jameson as a commander name has not been allowed specifically, I think, because it was a Kickstarter reward at a certain level. So you could have a Jameson character if you backed a certain level of the Kickstarter, and I believe that's why it's locked out. And it was subject to kind of verification by Frontier that you can have a Jameson character of that particular thing. But yeah, there is a bit of a story to it. There you go, Prime 9, yes, thank you. Yeah, 10% of the damage goes straight for the shields, and you can't damage modules, because that would be harsh. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting effect. I like the idea. It's kind of like it's bursting through, maybe dissipating a little bit, but still doing some hull damage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, rotate the shield frequencies, Captain. It's kind of making me think a little bit more like Artemis, that kind of thing. You know, shield frequency alpha, those kind of things. Would be really, really cool. Yes, Amicus, exactly. Yeah. Elite Go Star Trek. Set phasers to frequency 992.6. They've adapted, sir. But yeah, it was interesting. Maybe that's something which is going to get a little bit of an upset again when I forget what that version of it's called. Is it Multi-Crew's got a name, hasn't it? But when 2.3 hits and we've got the Multi-Crew stuff going in, maybe that's one of the things that can be used as a bit of a variation. Maybe you can tweak your shield frequencies and things like that to different weapon effects, to counteract different weapon effects, things like that. HS0003, yes, I did. I've hit elite. I am finally elite in combat, and we're just chilling out now, having a little sip of Jameson's and reading the awesome stuff which is in the newsletter coming up next week. Because yes, I definitely want to try. I hope Artemis is at LaveCon again. I really want to give it another go. It is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't tried Artemis, you should really give it a go. What's the easiest way of explaining it? It's like a Star Trek bridge simulator. Multiple people running different console things. You know, someone's at the helm, someone's the captain, someone's on weapons. Fantastic game. Really, really great. Have a look on YouTube with some videos of it. It's really, really cool. You sound like Scott Manley with the Star Trek voice. I love Scott Manley's videos, actually. He does some great videos. And I do get carried away listening to him. So if I do, I apologise to Scott if I acquire his voice. I love it. Was it the Twitter or the Facebook meme going around with a picture of his face? And I was like, "Hello, I'm Scott Manley, and you're reading this in my voice." Ooh, Stephen, actually, they have multi-Artemis setup. Ooh, that's awesome. Doesn't that mean we can have two simultaneous player ships in the same environment going against each other head-to-head? Mad Dog just read my mind when he typed that out. You must have typed that before the delay. Like Pulsar Lost Colony. Yeah, I think so. Similar, yeah. Two sets of consoles, similar rooms. Oh, awesome, Stephen Escher. I've got to try that. PvP Artemis, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be next level shit. That's going to be awesome. Right, back onto the thing on there. So, emissive munitions, and this was something that was mentioned in the live stream yesterday. But the emissive munitions were applied to a multi-cannon, I believe. Ed was demonstrating it on the multi-cannon. The whole idea of the emissive munitions, it makes the target basically glow on the scanner. It kind of like tags them and makes them, it kind of counteracts any kind of silent running they might do, or using heat sinks to drop their signature down, that kind of thing, which is something which you're seeing a lot in like the PvP style combat at the moment. You see a lot of people will go to these silent running, hull tanking builds, that sort of thing. So this is kind of a counteractive measure for this. So you can see if you manage to strike the shield or the hull, it's going to massively increase the signature of that vessel, which is really cool. It's almost like hitting them with a big flashing beacon and making them unable to hide on the scanner, which is really, really cool. This one is applied to missiles, which is different to what we saw on the live stream yesterday. So that's going to give you another potential benefit of switching and using missiles more often as well, which is quite cool. I mean, you get that kind of you know, if you get a lock on them, you fire a missile quickly, it's going to go off and hit them regardless, as if they manage to drop their temperature down in the meantime, which is pretty cool. Anti-silent running, exactly, Marcus Cross. Yeah, that's kind of the what they're trying to do on there. Oh, Dark Matter, you're getting issues with your connection, are you? Keep getting paused. It's a pain. Sorry, it's because I am going to the Europe ingestion server, I'm afraid. It's just the quickest connection for me, so that's the problem with Twitch. Tagging with a laser would be useful. Current IR illuminated target. That's a good idea, Stephen Escher. Yeah. Wonder if that would work on there. That's a good like that. Yeah, Game of Thrones. PvP's getting a good shake-up, and Prime 9, I like that description. Rather than a gentle nudge, you've gone for throwing a stick of dynamite in a blender and turn it on. That's That's a good description to it, and I think it absolutely is the right thing to do. I mean, looking at it, beta is the time for all of that to come out. That's what it's all about. Throw everything into the mix, put all of those really crazy changes that have been toying around with for a while in, just let people see what it is. And I absolutely, everyone, I implore you, if you do have beta access next week, to get in there. Oh, Mad Dog! See you in the Void, Commander. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for the congratulations, mate. Appreciate that. Take care, my friend. But yeah, the beta is the time to do it. So, you know, if you do have access to beta, please do get in there, try all of the different variations. Don't just stick to a one loadout, and you know, but please do mess around with it. I really do implore everyone to give that a shot, because that's what beta's about. Try out these different things, try different ways of counteracting it, meet up with people, you know, to test out the mechanics between each other, the PvP, the wings, and all that. Everything's going to be a complete change again. So definitely give it a try. Mess around with it. And who was it? Out of curiosity, if you didn't get into the beta for Horizons, is there any way to get access? I don't know if the store allows you to upgrade to the Horizons beta now at this point. It's worth firing off something to customer services. Maybe you could pay for the upgrade to your account. You could pay the difference. It's worth a shot. I don't know whether you can do it. I've got the lifetime pass, so because I backed it way back when in the Kickstarter. So yeah, I don't need to get any more updates at all. Gaming doing no upgrade at the moment. Yeah, I didn't think that was the case. I don't think it was. ZX Becky, time for you to head off. Thank you very much for joining in. Lovely to chat to you. Thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad I've got to Elite finally. I can do other things now. But yes, take care. What's that? Maybe they'll offer beta access next season. Yeah, hopefully, Abacus. Yeah, it would be nice to get beta access from new people coming in. Into Season 3 as well. And I believe we have mentioned, obviously there is another live stream next week, Tuesday the 3rd of May. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch that one. I should be in big trouble if I do. There we go. It's my wedding anniversary on the 3rd. But yeah, I might not be in on the 3rd. We'll see. But yes, you should be in. You have no excuse. Everyone watch that live stream. It's worth it. Well worth it. Oh, sorry. Is Prime 9? Oh, cannon projectile speed buff, please, Prime. I don't know, Marcus Cross. I mean, you got your big missiles. I know you want the big fast cannons as well. Oh, God. Never satisfied. Always want more boom. Can't say that I blame you, but yeah. Yeah, Shan, exactly. Beta's the time to go mad. Try everything. Try all the different variations. Try all the things. Meet up with your friends. Blow your friends up for no reason. Try to blow the stations up with the most ridiculously overpowered modifications that you can. Try all the things. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. But yes, so live stream next week as well. That's an important thing. Please do catch into that. And I think a little bit more of info on the Galnet for this week as well, which I kind of skimmed over last week because I was so excited with all the engineers dropped the 2.1 information. So obviously, Jasmina Halsey, the former president of the Federation, obviously she's been recovered. She's out of her coma, but she is a little bit. Some people saying incapable of being in charge anymore. So she's a little bit. She got a few health problems. People are saying, speaking slowly, speaking in tongues. Yeah, she's been going on about the caretakers of the galaxy. Marcus Cross, you want your tactical nuke swinging dinosaur launchers? Maybe Season 3. Can you put that on the list for Season 3, Prime? Maybe, you know, dinosaurs throwing tactical nukes, or season 4 maybe, when we get down on the surfaces and atmosphere worlds and things like that. Dark matter generator. I'm not going to divulge the true identity of the mysterious Prime 9. That is for the Prime 9, which you may find out if you join on the stream, the official live stream next Tuesday. What's that? The Jameson makes the speculation world. Much speculation. Yep. I think that's long overdue. Many speculations this week on that. Yes, but yes, just me now. Halsey, obviously, she's up. She's talking about super sentient beings that are out there in space, in the depths of space, and she's started up this goal. She wants everyone to go out and do this exploration CG, which I think Stephen Usher, you mentioned earlier on. I believe it is up in a week though, maybe next Thursday. That CG is up, so I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do that, explore, come back and get yeah, I've got a busy schedule for the next week, but it'd be nice to get involved in that anyway, but we'll give it a go. And as I said right at the start as well, I think, here we go, yeah, Admiral Denton Patrius, as is it Petraeus? I can never pronounce these names correctly. I never do it correctly. But he has successfully created his new majestic Imperial Interdictor. Sir DBOBE, yes, wanted big game hunting. Yeah, I mean, he wants to get to that point, absolutely, where there's all of these really cool things, but there's so many layers of things that need to go in to make those kind of things possible. So, you know, you've got to kind of incrementally add these features layer by layer into the game. We will eventually get these things. Goxie, yeah, exactly. Passengers first. I think what we're seeing now with the engineers having the faces to the characters, that's going to mean that passenger missions become more of a possibility. It's more plausible and relevant to have the passenger missions when you've got faces for the characters on there. No point having passenger missions if they just act like carrying a commodity from A to B. There has to be some additional reason to it, otherwise passenger missions are effectively useless. But I like the idea of it. You know, I really like the you know, what are we going to get in terms of cabin types? Because obviously in Frontier Elite 2 there was only one cabin type. You either had a cabin or you didn't. But I like the idea that you can maybe have characters which will accept basically being put into cryo sleep in a cargo can and chucked in a small ship just to get from A to B. You might have these incredibly rich people that demand to be transported there in the finest crew space, in a cabin space in a beluga liner or something crazy like that. But yeah, it's going to be a nice variation. It's nice to see what sort of trade-offs you're going to get by having to swap in, you know, better cabin space for more lucrative passenger mission, things like that. What's that? Dark matter generator saying that passenger missions in the Guardian update, per hints in the adverts. Guard your passengers. Yeah, that's it. That's a speculation alert. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like you need all these layers and things added into the game before it makes sense to have these. You know, you can't just jump straight to chucking the passenger missions in for no particular reason. You know, there has to be the layers built in, the reasons for doing it, the backstory and the missions and the all those kind of things. They're once the systems are in place, I think we can the passenger missions would make more sense. And it's, to me, it's the absolute perfect way to do it. It's the most meaningful way to do it. As much as I did like the passenger missions in the earlier games, you know, when you go back to them and compare them now, they are very, very simplistic. They pretty much are just an A to B job. Whether you pass or fail is based on time. There were a couple of variables to it, like, you know, by failing that mission or picking a mission of someone, increases the probability of being attacked if there's someone who doesn't like that person you're carrying. But that was pretty much all of the variables to it. It was very, very simple. But I like the idea that there's much more depth that can be added in on there. Dinosaurs need no reason, Crash. You're obsessed, my friend. I like that. That's a good description. I like that. Pry 9. Yeah, it's not rock paper scissors. It's pew daka boom splat. Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like that. Stephen Asher, do passengers worry if you start ramming ships with your orca? See that exactly. There's all these layers to the simulation that would make sense to go in there. I like the idea that a really high class passenger might demand that you get them there safely with and if there's kind of any trouble on the way, they might cut your pay, or they don't want to be interdicted or something like that. There's a lot of layers to it which can make it really, really interesting. Sorry, what's that? Falcos. Do you think we will see some planets with life on it? Things to do soon. No, not this. It's going to be layered on piece by piece, and like I said, it's more than just. It's more than just worlds that we know of as being, oxygen-based atmospheres with life on it. There's, it is a one-to-one simulation of the Milky Way galaxy, so there is so many different variations of atmosphere alone you can get out there. Silicate snow and methane atmospheres, nitrogen atmospheres, different temperature ranges, different radiation exposures based on things like that. The sky is the limit, literally, for want of a better way of putting it. So it's going to take some time to get all of the different variations of atmosphere types out there, I believe. Right, let's get myself kitted out with... We gotta make a taxi, and you can't have a taxi without a yellow paint job, so there we go. Oh, and now I can slap on... Because I can, where is it? Yay, Combat Elite! Gotta slap it on there, you gotta. You gotta do it. Right, let's chuck out all the rest. We don't need the rest. What do we need a shield for? We're just... running to Shinrata. Chuck all the Class D stuff in. Are we looking for fuel use? Let's chuck in a big fuel tank so I don't have to stop as well. Let's throw that in. That should be enough. Let's just refuel. I should be able to get to Shinrata with that. That's a pretty big jump range for a little ship. It's you've got to use it, Abacus. Absolutely, it's there. It's a tattoo. I've earned it. I've earned my tattoo now. Combat Elite on a hauler with no lasers as well. That's wrong. It's totally wrong. Absolutely. Fiery Toad. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there, and that's exactly the reason why it's gonna take a while for these things. On our current PCs, the average gaming PC at the moment would not be able to run all of the stuff that you'd need for generating an entire planet with all of that level of detail and all of the systems in the background of everything else. Top Taxi, 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's a trade-off. You've got to incrementally work up to this until there's more people out there which can actually achieve the level of fidelity that Frontier are going for, and run it at a reasonable frame rate on these machines. Can we get out without scratching the paint? How many jumps have we got? Jumps. 9 jumps. Gonna take a little while. What's that? Hauler with no weapons. That's an understatement. Elite combat rank ramming speed. Yeah, I got there with nothing but a shieldless, weaponless hauler. Oh, Goxie, yes, if you're just catching up with the newsletter now, yeah, sorry, so the micro-resources, like you said there, conductive components, security firmware patch, articulation motors, those kind of things, these are all going to be, I mean, nickel, for example, you know that you can find on the surface in your SRV by searching around and finding the raw materials, but these small things like that, at the moment, the assumption is, and the speculation is that they're going to be mission rewards for doing certain types of missions. So that definitely is one of the driving features behind 2.1, is to put more emphasis onto the missions and to get people to understand what the effects are, what the benefits of doing those missions and things like that, and start to drive more people down that. Because unfortunately at the moment missions are kind of they're used initially, but then kind of people just kind of fizzle out and don't do missions anymore. Just only do the ones with incredibly high prices, things like that. Yeah, Falcos, I mean, there's always going to be a comparison, obviously, but it's like anything else. You know, it's like it's hard to talk about it without going over something which hasn't gone over 100 times before. You say, I mean, like No Man's Sky, yes, No Man's Sky has a different graphical style, so there's not as much depth to the simulation going on behind the scenes, and it's also single player, so a lot of the content doesn't need to be synced up across multiple instances and things like that. With Star Citizen, a lot more of the content is handcrafted by artists, so it is literally just pre-caching and loading it from a hard drive, so it's a different way of achieving the same goal. What Frontier have done with Elite Dangerous is, like, virtually everything you see on the screen is at some point is generated procedurally on the fly by the engine as it's needed. Even the textures on the dashboard of your ship and things like that are part of a shader program which will generate it on the fly. That all takes up a certain amount of horsepower, and you can optimize a lot of that away, and we're finding that with 2.1, for example, the shaders for the planet surfaces has been optimized to reduce some of the impact of generating it on the fly. So it's a different approach to the problem. So, am I going to overheat? No, I'm not going to overheat. Yeah, it's difficult to address it without getting into real details. Trying to think of a good example. I mean, they're all games from the same genre. It's just a different approach to the problem. A Brit called Will! Greetings, Commander! Nice to see you there. Yeah, Falcos, I mean, that's a lot of the issues that you see why, I mean, you see a lot of people talking about Horizon's generating, you know, when you get down to the surface it runs a lot slower on their PCs than the rest of the game. And so, well, there's a lot more going on. You know, it's doing all of that surface generation, it's creating all of that stuff on there. I mean, everything we've seen from Star Citizen so far, I mean, yes, they are doing the procedural generation on the planet surfaces, but a lot of the detail you see on the bases is all like handcrafted areas. Which, like I said, that's one of the reasons why the game is going to be about 100 gigabytes or whatever they're going for. So yeah, it's a different way of approaching the problem. Whereas you look at all of the assets in Elite Dangerous, even the buildings and things like that are all created on the fly, so they need to be time on your GPU to generate them. Things like that. It's a very complicated system, and it's very difficult to explain. Problems with Twitch, are we? Fish sticks, I like that. That's an eloquent way of putting it. Yeah, it's like comparing apples and oranges. They are both fruit. Yeah, exactly. There are some things. It's like comparing FPS games. You know, you can't you can't compare Battlefield to GTA 5 now that it has an FPS mode, and it says like, well, yeah, but GTA 5 lets me go anywhere, and it's like, well, yeah, because they built it from the ground up with the ability to go everywhere and be a seamless transition from A to B and stuff like that, but they had to cut corners on other areas of the game to allow that to happen. You know what I mean? You know, so you don't have these scripted sequences and hand animated things like that. So yeah, it's a different approach to the same problem. That's the easiest way I can put it. What's that, Toad? Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. The Cobra engine can scale to any resolution. You can jump to any screen res without a loss of quality in the textures and all. If you had the hardware, you can go up to 32K. Yeah, and that's been said by the devs. If you did have a big enough GPU and like, I don't know, what would that take? 16 4K monitors in a square or something like that. You could run the game at 32K if you could get the hardware. But yeah, it's just a case of finding it. Focus. I mean, I think the key thing to remember there is Frontier are trying to target the game for the majority of hardware in a specific bracket at the moment. They can offer so much scalability, plus or minus, from that target window. So they're aiming for kind of like the average gaming PC, the majority gaming PC hardware. If you have fantastically powerful computer and you can run it on ultra settings, stuff like that, that's great. You know, and it's great that you can kind of push it up. You can have it on ultra, you can go crazy frame rates and all that stuff. That's fantastic. But there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there that won't have that hardware. So Frontier are kind of very, I think, sensibly kind of holding back what they could do, and they could throw all of this stuff in there. They've got the technology. I mean, I've spoken to the guys on the engine team. They could put a lot more into the generation. Oh, sorry, Forecalls, you missed some of the chat. There's a delay on the chat and there's buffering on the Twitch tonight. Twitch is being twitchy. I don't know how much you missed. So yeah, I mean, it's all about it's kind of identifying what your target audience is and aiming to hit the that window of that particular hardware, that particular level of performance. And yes, as I said, you know, as Toad was saying there, you could scale it up and down. It can run at 4K. You can run it on ultra settings. They can run it on VR with it 90 hertz and scale the textures down so there's more frame, more pixel output and that kind of stuff. But it's there's no point aiming for, you know, the 1% of PC players which have got ridiculous quad SLI setups and can run at crazy frame rates and things like that, because that's not the majority of your player base. So that's why Frontier are reducing the target they're going for until more people upgrade to that level. That's what it's all about. Oh, Mrs. K is here. Oh. Mrs. K. Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble now? Am I being loud? I'm rather excited tonight. I have hit Combat Elite. I have a good excuse. Yay! That's it. I've gone stumped now. Heavy drinker who has a quad SLI setup. Exactly. This is my point, is that, you know, if everyone had a crazy setup like that with that kind of throughput, then Frontier could, yeah, they could turn everything up to 11. We can have crazy features. I mean, what's that, Focus? You got a chance to see Elite Dangerous with the Oculus, but it was the beginning with the first version. Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome. I've got the DK1 on here, and it is absolutely fantastic. But it's not until you try it on one of the newer versions you realise how much it's come along, and you know, just playing it like 90 hertz solid, it's really amazing. Works so well, and it's great that the engine's scalable. That it can go up and down to you know, operate something like that, but then, you know, look awesome on a 4K monitor as well. Yeah, but yeah, so I think one of the things that, I mean, I always go back to quoting this, but one of the interesting things that was said about Horizons just before it launched was people were asking about things like, you know, why are there no caves and overhangs and interesting features? Because I believe No Man's Sky have got some things like that. They've got some really wacky landscapes, which is really awesome. These crazy arcs and arches and various structures, which are really, really awesome. And it fits the style very well. I mean, it doesn't look believable in terms of a realistic galaxy, but it looks fantastic and outlandish, and like an alien world looks really, really cool. So people were asking questions on the stream saying about, you know, why aren't there things like that, why aren't there overhangs and tunnels and caves and things like that, and the guys responsible for the shader development on the planet's surface said that yes, they could do that, but it would probably mount your GPU. Because there's so much going on to generate it in a believable way. It's not just what you see visually, but it's things like they're taking into account the geology of the world, the tectonic plates of the planet, things like that, which was detailed in the stream to make these worlds look as believable as possible. They're not just made to look visually cool, which is what you tend to do with procedural generation. Something like No Man's Sky is that they've made it so it looks cool. You know, it's got those wavy landscapes, it's got these really cool things like that, but it's not really based on real science. Elite Dangerous goes the opposite way, where they're basing everything on first principles, real physical simulations of things to get the most realistic landscapes. So there's a lot of complex calculations going on there. Yeah, Brushloft, I mean, that is one good point why you wouldn't have caves and overhangs. You need some kind of erosion, really, to get that. I mean, you could get it on planets which are atmosphereless, which used to have volcanic activity, for example. There is a possibility of that. So maybe later down the line that would be brought in as a feature. I would like to see it, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not making an excuse for it not being in there. I can just see why they've decided, like, you know, you would need a beast of a PC to generate three-dimensional purling noise on this kind of scale, and to put in this kind of detail. And it would mean that, you know, 90% of the player base wouldn't be able to play Horizons. I think they've made the right choice. Heavy Drinker, yes, Space Engineers have done a good job on the planet there. I've played on the update of it very briefly. Oh, come on. Yeah, Shinrata, that's independent, isn't it? I really need to clear these bounties I've collected before I go off exploring, because that would drive me mad if I've got those there for weeks on end. Congrats are in order, so shut up. Okay, I'll shut up now, Mrs. K. Sorry, yes, I'll shut up now. No, Marcus Costa, yeah, I love the sounds of the hauler. Like, love it. What's that? You don't have quad SLI? I know, it's terrible. Don't have quad SLI. How bad is that? I hope so, Bitstorm. Yeah, if people start getting these really cool GPUs with the extra oomph in them, it would be nice to see a bit of a jump in performance there and a bit of quality in the game as well. But again, it comes down to that. It's that side effect. It's like they can't just be, you know, because Pascal's announced they could start turning all the details up and having these cool features if it rules certain players out. If it means that suddenly the whole window is moved up, and you can't have this without upgrading your graphics card. It's, you know, there was a lot of backlash when Horizons first hit. Everyone was like, oh, but I want the, you know, I want Horizons, but it means I'm going to have to upgrade my graphics card. No, it's a big problem. You know, it's always going to be a balance between slowly progressing the specification and the minimum requirements of the game and balancing it with features which people believe are worthwhile. Yeah, Prime 9, sorry, you put that much more eloquently than what I could put out. I think I've drunk too much Jameson, so I can't explain myself very well. But yeah, exactly, it's a case of if the Pascal GPUs are widely adopted, yeah. As much as they have fantastic performance, it is a case of getting it to enough people out there in the player base that it's worthwhile targeting it as a platform. Otherwise, there's no point doing it. You can't have a feature which is, you know, so, say, you can only land on, you know, if atmosphere worlds could be done tomorrow, but you need something like a ridiculously powerful GPU with the latest features on that a fractional % of the market has, it's no point. It really is no point, because everyone then be complaining, like, I can't have atmospheres without this. Well, yeah. That's the problem with PCs. They incrementally upgrade over years. That's the problem. It is Falcos, yeah. It's great to see the genre getting a big kick at the backside, and you know we've had so few space games for so long, and now we've suddenly got all these really awesome games coming out, and it's great to see all these different ones, and they have all their own unique style, not just in terms of art, but in terms of the type of game they're going for. Like No Man's Sky is all that single player, awesome experience. And then, like I've said many times before, Star Citizen seems to be focusing more on that kind of the story-driven side of it, Elite Dangerous is all about that realistic simulation of the Milky Way galaxy, and that's being that tiny cog in a bigger machine. I like that style of play. What's that? Prime. Working out what spec to release on is more of a pain than it seems as well. Yeah, I can appreciate it from my point of view. I understand where you're coming from. You often have to pick your performance target a year before release because everything's authored to poly and memory budgets, and predicting performance in the future is hard. Yeah, that's very well put, and that's kind of where I've been trying to go all night. Is that kind of you're working on a project. It's going to take 2 years to complete it. You have no idea what hardware is going to be available in 2 years. You have to take a stab in the dark and guess at what you're going for, trying to hit that frame rate and that scene complexity, within that budget of that hardware, and it's a nightmare. Yeah, what's that? Primeline's full of the juicy goss tonight. Here we go. That's around the 2005 to 7 era. Lots of game devs didn't see the multi-core coming. Some games around that had terrifying performance problems because the dev assumed that we'd have one fast core rather than 2 medium speed cores. Yeah, exactly. Like the Core i5s when they started hitting the shelves, and they were very, very popular. They were the thing to get, and they were great for your average desktop stuff. But then when you started getting games, it's like, yeah, it became a real problem. And I think Carmack kind of hit it on the head with what he was doing with the id Tech 5 stuff. I think he started going towards that very multi-core rendering, pipeline-based approach. I think he was going for that kind of stuff. Was it? I forget how he did it in id Tech 5 now. But yeah, he saw it coming, and he kind of worked towards that goal. But not everyone's Carmack. Not everyone can get it right. But it is a difficult thing to get right. It is absolutely a nightmare to aim for a hardware which is going to be there in the future. You just don't know. You don't know what it's going to be. You really don't. But there we go. There we go. And I think on that note, I think we shall wrap it up. We've had a fantastic newsletter to go, I think. Beta, hopefully, next week. Beta 2.1. I can't wait for it. The engineers. I can take a nice, relaxing chill out into the galaxy now. I shall have a think about my loadout. Comments and suggestions are welcome. If you think I should go out in an Anaconda, I can kit out an Anaconda. Maybe I can do an Anaconda for exploration. We'll give it a go. But we'll see. We'll see. Off into the void for the next few weeks, I believe. A little bit of CQC. Chill out. Chillax. But thank you very much for everyone who came to cheer me along to Elite. Thank you to everyone that helped me get there. Shan, Toad, if he's still about, and Chris Hankey. I know he helped me a lot. Chris Hankey, I believe, hit the... quickly do the wildcard. Yes, Abacus, please do post the link in the chat. Prime wants me to go exploring in the fertile lands. Yeah, that's mean. That's evil. Thank you very much, Prime. Yes, it's been great doing it. Thank you very much. There we go. Oh, let's get this up for Abacus on here. Are you in there? Let me see the wildcards. 3 wildcards. Ooh. Let me get this on the screen quickly for everyone. So the wildcards. There is the fight for power. I don't know if anyone's read about this, but definitely please do check that out. And thank you very much again to everyone who's tuned in tonight. Keel back, perfect exploration vessel. You're trolling me now. You're all trolling me, aren't you? I will have a look. But yes, thank you very much, everyone. It's been absolutely awesome tonight. I'm so chuffed that we managed to get that. Yes, we did it. But until next time, Commanders, see you in the void.